Hey everyone, welcome back to the Love2D for Beginners series. Up until now, our games have looked like a bunch of rectangles and circles. But games aren't just made of shapes, they are made of characters, coins, enemies, and backgrounds. So today, we'll learn how to bring our games to life using images. You'll discover how to load and draw image files, how to position them anywhere on the screen, and what a sprite is and why it is important in 2D games. And just a quick shout out, if you are learning Lua, you can check out our app on the Play Store, Lua for Games to Learn and Code. It is packed with interactive courses, fun coding challenges, and a built-in Lua compiler and step-by-step guides to build games like Brick Breaker. It is perfect for beginners who want to learn and practice Lua all in one place. So you can go check it out on the Play Store from Codin, Lua for Games, Learn and Code. Now let's get on with the video. Now, before coding, let's understand sprites. First of all, what is a sprite? A sprite is simply an image that is used in your game. It could represent anything: a player, an enemy, a coin, or even the background. Think of it like a sticker. An image file is the sticker, and your job is to place it on the game screen. Later, we'll also work with sprite sheets, which are big images that contain multiple smaller sprites for animations. But for now, a sprite is equal to one single image. Now, let's prepare your project to load a sprite. First, you have to download a small PNG image inside your main.lua folder. I have downloaded an image of an Among Us character, but after this, you can download any image and work with it. Now, after downloading your image, you have to place it in the same folder as your main.lua file, and here's what your project structure should look like. We have our main.lua file and our PNG that we want to use, and this batch file is simply to run our game, which I have also mentioned in previous episodes. So let's open our project folder and our main.lua file to start using our PNG image. So first of all, we'll create a variable for our sprite and we'll call it local character. So this will be our variable that we want to use. Now inside function love.load, this is what we'll use to load our PNG image onto this character variable. We use love.graphics.newImage. So first of all, we'll write character equals, now we'll use love.graphics.load, new image, and then the name of the image. So I have written it as among.png, and this line basically loads your sprite onto our variable, and after that we'll end our function. So this is it for our love.load, and after that we will have to draw that character onto our screen. Now we do that by using function love.draw, and inside love.draw we'll use love.graphics.draw to display the sprite at a position of 100 and 100. So love.graphics.draw, since we are drawing something onto the screen, character, and then the position of 100 and 100. After we are done with that line, we'll write end. Now I have autosave turned on, so we can directly see by running this batch file what it results to. So you can see that this Among Us image is loaded onto our game window. Now we can visibly see that the image is way larger than it should be, or we would need for a character, and to fix this we can use the property that love.graphics.draw actually accepts. So love.graphics.draw actually accepts 6 main arguments. So they are first of all love.graphics.draw, first of all the actual image which we have stored in character, and then our position. So this is normal and as default, but after that it will also accept rotation and scale X and scale Y values. So scale Y, so it will accept these values, and we know that X and Y are to position our character onto our screen. So it is 100 pixels from our left edge and 100 pixels from our top. So rotation is how much we want to rotate the image. We'll cover this later since we don't really need this. And scale X and scale Y are how much to scale the image horizontally and vertically. So in order to scale our image, we would need to do so. First of all, let's leave it at this to draw the character at its original size. So we'll compare. After that, let's draw a smaller version of the character, and we'll do that by using our scale. Now, love.graphics.draw will draw our character. Let's position our character further away, so 400 and then 100. And inside our rotation, we'll keep it 0 for now. And for our scale, we will have to scale it down to 50%. So we'll use 0.5. And 0.5 on the horizontal scale and 0.5 on the vertical scale. So let's execute our batch file and let's see the results. So you can see that our character has been scaled down, and that is how you control the size of your character in your game. Now if you want to make a bigger character, we could do it like this. If we want to double our size, we can multiply it by 2, both the x-axis and y-axis, and if we run it, it'll be way larger. So that is how you scale and manipulate your size of your characters in Love2D. But you have to be careful while using different x and y scales. I suggest you use the same x and y scale, since it will scale the character proportionally. But if we put it as 2 and 1, let's say, okay, let's comment this out and print this out at 100, we can see that our character will be a bit distorted. See, it's wide among us. Now, to keep your sprite looking normal, you should always use the same value for both scale X and scale Y, unless you intentionally want some distortion. Now, that was about manipulating the size of your image or sprite in Love2D. But sometimes you might need to know how big your image is in the first place. For example, to center it on the screen or to create a hitbox for your character. So Love2D makes this easy with getWidth and getHeight. And we'll use this on our code. So let's remove all of this. Actually, we don't need to remove this all. So we'll create local character width and then character height. And inside love.tool, we will use this these properties or our variables to store the character width and character height. So we'll access the we'll access the width of our character by using something called getWidth. And then for our character height, we'll use character and then a colon and getHeight. Now we'll display, first of all, we'll draw this image as at a fixed position. We'll remove the scaling. And now what we will do is we will display the character information on the screen. So we'll use love.graphics.print. First of all, we'll print the let's say we'll say width, and then we'll concatenate the character width at 10 10. After that, love.graphics.print height will concatenate the character height at, let's say, 10 and 30. So these are the locations on the screen. Now let's see what our main.lua file outputs to. So we can see that our width is 440 and our height is 482. Now you can also use this information to center our sprite on our game window, which might come in handy later. And don't worry if this feels too complicated for now, you'll understand it better later. So our bonus, let's remove this. And let's first get our screen size. We'll have to get our screen size. Get screen size. And we can do that by using something called getDimensions. So we'll store our screen width in screen W, screen width, and screen height in screen H, and equals love.graphics.getDimensions. So our screen width and height will be stored in screen W and screen H, and then we can finally draw the sprite centered on the screen. And we'll do that by using graphics, love.graphics.draw. We'll draw our character, and for our position values, we'll balance it out with our screen width minus char width by 2. This will center our character horizontally, and for our vertical positioning, we'll use screen height minus our character height by 2. Now if we comment this line out, since we don't want this, and let's see what happens. So we can see that our character is centered. And this is incredibly useful when you want to start working with menus or UIs for which you want to center them on the screen. And that was it for today. Awesome job. Let's recap what you learned today. You learned what a sprite is and why we use it. We learned how to load an image using love.graphics.newImage, and we also learned how to draw it with love.graphics.draw. We learned how to get the dimensions of the image and also how to properly size and scale the image to your liking. Now in the next episode, we'll make your sprite move using the keyboard, just like a real game character. And it is pretty similar to the previous episode for keyboard inputs, handling user inputs, but we'll add some extra spice onto your character. Now, I hope you practice by loading any image you want onto your game file, positioning them anywhere you want, and scaling them to your liking. That is, you don't just follow this tutorial, but also experiment and try it out with your own game file. And don't forget to drop a like if you found the video helpful. Subscribe to our channel for more such videos, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.